My girlfriend made one of Dua Lipa's dresses. She like sewed.
Come on, how did she find her?
What do you mean?
How do you find her to like Dua Lipa? How does she find her to sew it?
What do you mean? How to?
She
No. My girlfriend didn't. Excuse me. I misspoke. I now understand what everyone's saying to me. My girlfriend made a dress for herself, copied Dua Lipa's dress. My girlfriend is not a professional stylist, seamstress, designer.
I was like, what? Your girlfriend
Can you imagine if I were
Donatella Versace? You know, like
my girlfriend is Donatella. Oh, Donna, I love you, babe.
Hello and welcome to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jared Freed. I am joined by this week's co-host, Ashley Gavin. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Such a
pleasure.
pleasure.
I love podcasting with you.
Love it. Always a great time.
Yeah, you're very
hanging
easy
with
to
you.
pod with.
We have good pod energy.
We have great pod energy.
Well, we'll see. We're saying this before people get a chance to listen or watch.
We did some sick riffs earlier. I'm sad they're not making it on.
These cameras should have been rolling at all time. That is the sad part about being a comedian. You're like, we wasted all this fun energy, not even to be taped. Like
they don't know how good I can be.
Right.
They should see me off air.
You can see how good Ashley Gavin is by going to her podcast with Josh Johnson. It is called What's News with You. That's your new podcast.
Yeah, it's my new pod, and it's not news. It's the opposite of news. We cover everything that you would never have covered in the news.
So give me an example.
We have people call in. So
with their news.
With their
personal news.
Yeah, their personal news. Like if a bird flew into their window, we cover that.
How do you vet that? Some people really will go on and on about nothing.
Oh, we have a schizo folder.
A schizo folder?
We call it the schizo folder. It's not PC. I'm so sorry if you're offended by that.
Right.
But we have a special folder for people who, you know, it's a little odd.
So they email in first and then you say, hey, we'll take this on the air.
My producer we have a hotline and they call and they leave a message and my producer vets all of them. I don't know how hard his job is. Maybe he's
producer.
up at night. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have another podcast, We're Having Gay Sex. I've been on that show. I love going on that
times,
show.
Yeah.
So much fun. Go follow Ashley Gavin. And so funny, so many great clips on TikTok. I mean, your shows sometimes when they come up for me, it feels like it's this like, it feels like I'm getting to watch a party I wasn't invited to.
It can be horny. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, so you're doing.
It can be a little
great
sexually charged.
It's a great stand-up, but it does feel like you're like. There's a moment in the show where you're like, all right, let me hear from you people.
Yeah, they're great.
It's a great but there's a actual energy to all the videos. It feels like
it's fun.
Your shows are very like there's like a palpable thing going on.
I'm realizing more and more I love the live element of performing, especially at the end of the show, because I'll do like my hour, and then at the end we do 10 to 15 of crowd work, and I really just let anything happen.
And people come kind of prepared to do stuff,
They
right?
really do. Yeah, they bring signs, they bring stories,
Have you kind of made it so like, hey, I'm going to do my act, and then like, now we can do what you guys can? Because I would be afraid that I've had people bring signs to my shows. To me, it's like an obstacle I have to get around.
Yes.
It's not like I want that to happen. Right.
And then I learned that if I tell everyone, hey, please shut the fuck up for the next hour, and then you can do whatever you want. They really,
so childlike.
They listen.
Yeah.
They're very, you know what? They're very polite. Like, they just need to know the rules. If you tell them the rules, they will follow the rules.
So, and at the end of the show,
Mommy says be quiet.
I mean, someone in your audience just got a little wet from that. They're like, oh my God. They'll put that on rewind.
I didn't say it.
So at your show, but it does feel like, do people come out at your shows?
Sometimes.
Have you had that?
Yeah.
Or they're there in secret?
They're there.
It feels like there's
there's a fair amount of bisexual women with boyfriends who are like, am I bi? And then by the end of the show, they're bi.
Yeah.
They're fully gay.
Are they there with the boyfriend? You have that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time.
And you have to kind of, now you've become this like handhold into the world?
I am a Sherpa. I will guide you to the promised land.
How do you feel about that as a lesbian woman? I even saying that, I was, what am I? Like, I felt like an idiot. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said.
Yeah, that actually was so stupid,
I don't
Jared.
think, Michelle Wolf, good friend of mine, had a great bit about how straight men and lesbian women don't interact.
Well, I'm finding it's starting to be. I don't know. I have so many guy friends, and I've
always connected well with lesbian women.
Yes.
That's the thing.
I think that's understated. I think it's actually straight women are very proud of the fact that they have a gay male friend, but I think less so. I wish straight men would be more open about the fact that they enjoy hanging out with lesbians.
Right.
I think they can be a little insecure about what that means for them, because the men will come to my shows all the time, but often they are alone.
Interesting.
They did not bring their boys with them. And I
Yeah.
get it. It's a hard sell.
Right.
It's a very strange thing to have to say to your guy friends, hey, I'm going to go watch this lesbian that I like. And they're like, what is that?
I think bringing anyone to any comedy show is like
Yes.
this real reveal of what you watch
Totally.
alone at home. Your stand-up
Yes.
is kind of this alone on your phone or on Netflix. You turn it on when you're looking to pass time.
You're so right. Because it is
yeah.
the comedian's job is to get to the weird things that people think about, don't want to admit they're thinking about.
Right.
And then when you say that this is my comedian, these are the thoughts.
These are my thoughts.
These are my thoughts.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it is funny because like if I get the gay best friend to a woman is announced, it does feel a little bit weird. Like I think we've gone to a place where you're like, why do you need this?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. He's
like,
not your handbag,
right? And
Yeah.
but with men, you don't hear about, but some would say that's progressive to just be like, that's my other friend.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
I do wish that more, because I identify so much with straight men,
Yeah.
and because I tend to date, I have been many women's first.
Really?
So yeah. So
What's that like?
I don't mind it. A lot of lesbians do mind it.
Why do they mind it?
Because I think they're tired of being treated like an experiment. There's such a downside, but now that people are so liberated, I find that the downside is almost totally gone. I will say I'm in an open relationship, so I don't have to deal with. I know, Jared, I'm dropping a lot of bombs here.
This is like a lot for me. I don't know.
This is too advanced. This
is advanced progressive for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. I'm saying
open
a lot of things.
relationship, lesbian. Oh my God, for women's first. I gotta go. What is this? A porn category?
I will say I'm not polyamorous. I don't have relationships with other people. I couldn't handle that.
So you're living a straight man's dream.
I am living the dream.
You have a girlfriend.
I have a
and you
beautiful
also,
girlfriend who's wearing Dua Lipa's dresses, as we said earlier.
as I said, my celebrity crush, Dua Lipa. She can wear a Dua Lipa dress.
Yeah.
And you have an open relationship where, what are the rules?
We both can hook up with other people, but we can't do like relationships with other people. So when
Can you have consistent hookups with other people?
Yeah,
or is-
she does that more than I do. And because I'm on the road a lot, so I tend to hook up on the road, and she'll have like a regular that she sees in New York that she's got a couple guys that she
This is the
hooks
dream.
up with.
This is like what every. But I don't know if
and
it's
girls.
not a-
sorry, and girls. I should clarify.
she's bi.
bisexual. Yeah.
Okay, so you go on the road.
But men are easier. This is the thing. When I start getting into details, then I have to clarify everything. Men are easier. Okay.
How so? What do you mean?
They're easier to get.
Oh, for her.
For her. Yeah, it's so easy.
Right. She just like walks out into the street.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Says, I'm bi and I'm
So
open.
most of her regulars are men. And she's got one or two girls that she sees. But for me, it's like usually.
a different woman in every town. You're like a sailor. So wait
And
a
I
minute.
know how to tie knots.
Holy shit, she does it all. So hold on. So when you go on the road, are you getting approached?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
It's very fun. Yeah.
So
I have a
do you
great
think
life.
you died and this is heaven?
I have to remind myself not to complain all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, complaining's the best, but I could see
know.
how you go. So you go to a town, and what are you generally like getting approached with? Is it like, I want my first and
Sometimes.
right? I would
Sometimes.
assume on the road comedian, you're kind of like a safe space for
Totally. That's
someone's
the other
first.
thing,
That
because
you're
like
right.
because they know the rules too. See, this is what a lot of people don't get about the open thing. They're like, oh, I could never do that. But when everything's out, it makes it so easy. There's no games.
Right.
This woman knows she is probably never going to see me again. And so therefore, it's
solves
just
a lot of problems.
It's just what it is. Like in reading some of the, I've done your other podcasts.
Yeah.
Dealing with the rules of straight relationships and what is this going to be, and having to trick the man into staying longer. The man's trying to trick the girl into not getting serious, not to like be stereotyping. Of course, that's not always what it is.
But generally, we see that's the basis of a lot
but when
of
you're in
emails.
an open relationship and you're just like, this is sex and I'm very serious and I'm very serious about that. Like that's like.
Do you want to have a family? Do you want to have?
Oh yeah,
that
I froze my eggs.
Did she as well?
She's a little younger than me, but we've
Okay.
been talking about whether or not she's going to freeze her eggs.
So you froze your eggs, and do you plan, or does it even matter to plan to have open relationship be a part of your life, or is this a phase?
We've talked about that because it does present when you have a family. There's now another person who is not consenting.
Sure.
To even though
that's
they
a great
have,
way to put it. I never would have thought of it that way. The kid consenting to
even though the kid is obviously not a part of that part of our lives, if the kid were to find out in a way or feel weird about that, so we have not decided what we're going to do about that. If we do continue, I think we would be lying to everybody that we were closed. I think it would be such an airtight secret, you know?
What do you mean?
I wouldn't want my kid to have to deal with any weirdness at school about it.
Right. So you're saying we would be together and
it would maybe be
gone.
monogamous, or if there was some kind of hall pass agreement that happened once a year or something, you know, like
It would have to be a total
It would have to
secret.
be a total secret.
I listen. So on the
There
road.
are, by the way, there are parents doing this because
course.
I hear from them.
Well, you're hearing from everyone.
Yeah.
You're hearing from everyone married woman who's dreamt of this her whole life. Right? You're hearing about all marriages. Like, well, comedians get this. Like, Ashley sips her drink, doesn't want to get into it too far. I know, but I'm saying, like, you know, as a comedian, we go to a party, we get the weirdest person coming up to us and going, I have to tell you my deepest, darkest secret because I know nothing shocks you. Right? Like, I get that
totally.
all the time.
Totally.
Where I'm at a party and then suddenly I'm on this teary-eyed conversation with someone about, you know, what's going on in their life. And I'm like, I can't believe every fucking party I have to deal with this. And I have to, like,
I've heard every gay thought from every man in comedy.
They've all
I can't
put it through you.
divulge, but
Right.
Jared, if you'd like to let me know.
We'll have a talk after this. I got a few things to go over. But so on the road, I'm curious to. You get approached. How do you decide?
Well, I'm not that lucky.
Well, you're lucky enough.
I'm lucky.
But I'm saying you get done with the show. Is there a DM? Is it?
Yeah, usually it's like a DM.
Yeah, and it's like, let's get drinks, but you know, you don't drink.
I don't drink, and it depends on what she's comfortable with. But typically, it's
like, come to my room. I'm here. I'm ready for you.
Yeah. And typically
Wow, you are living in heaven. No drinks, no fuss, no muss. This is crazy.
I'll get the Uber.
I'd get the Uber. Are you kidding? Ooh, this is amazing.
Do I seem like a bad person?
No. Well, you're in the right place to not be judged. I think this is great. You know, the open and honest part of it.
I feel bad for women. Like, I feel like straight women, if they want to live like this, they get called names, you know? And it's also, they live in constant danger.
Well, the danger part is a big part of it.
The danger's crazy. I just get to...
You get to be with... You know,
yeah.
You're not inviting a grizzly bear over. To get
exactly.
In an Uber.
It's a fair fight if there's going to be a fight.
Right.
I did make a woman put her knife away. This was a very long time. I hooked up with a woman. I should bring this story back. It was the first story I told on We're Having Gay Sex. Mm-hmm. By the way, you don't have to be gay to watch it. It's just comedy about my dating life.
It's a great podcast. I always have fun. And listen, if you want me as the appetizer.
There's you. There's Hannah Berner. There's all kinds of straight people. Raina Greenberg. Like, we've had all kinds of straight people on
the straights are invited.
Yeah. But I did make a woman put her knife. I put her knife in the safe of my hotel.
So she comes over. She says, "Hey, I'd love to
She's
spend
like
the night
security
with you."
obsessed. She's like a little like
to the point where it made you
She
nervous.
got like her home got broken in on, And we had been talking about that. She was like, oh, yeah, I own guns. I have a knife on me right now. And I was like, well, that's not going to fly. I'm putting your knife in the safe.
So wait, hold on.
I'm not getting naked. You've got the knife.
Take a step back. Show ends. You get a DM. Hey,
I had met her on Hinge.
Okay, so you meet on Hinge. Hey, nice to meet you. I know you from your comedy. I'm going to be in town. Would love to, or I'm already in town because it's on Hinge. And hey, the show just got over. Come over.
Kind of that,
And then you say, I know you have a knife.
I invited her to the show. Show was over. We go back to my hotel room.
Okay, I know you have a knife on you. Can you please put it in the safe?
Yeah, I put her knife in the safe.
And she said, no problem?
Yeah. She said, no problem.
See, I have this. Here's where you and I kind of diverge. You and I are both a safe adventure, which is what a lot of women want.
Yeah,
they want a safe adventure.
You're so right about that. Yes,
they want to have this fun, this wild night, but they also want to know that they're going to be safe and that they're going to be held and respected.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'm a safe adventure to date. That is a much worse place than safe adventure to have a sexual encounter with. Like, oh, we should do drinks. I'm like, drinks.
Yeah, but that's your charm. You're great at dating. That's your whole fucking thing.
This is like a genie's wish gone wrong.
Yeah.
It is really great at dating.
Yeah.
But nowhere to put your penis. So,
boy, oh boy, do I know about
life.
that.
We want everyone to go follow Ashley. We're going to do some emails. We'll play some Red Flag or Deal Breaker. We're going to do Nicky or Picky. We're so excited to have you here.
Nicky or Picky?
Icky or Picky. So you're dating someone and you have to decide if it's a real valid ick or if they're just being picky.
Got it.
But we'll start with a Red Flag or Deal Breaker, which is the game that is sweeping the nation. You're dating someone, one thing happens. It's the most perfect date you've ever been on. One thing happens. Is it a red flag, you notice it and you keep going, or is it a deal breaker, you end it sight unseen? Have you ever gotten in a fight with your girlfriend about a hookup that's happened on the road?
No. I know this is going to sound like dream come true, maybe too easy, but we're not big fighters.
Right.
We do not really have escalated arguments. We barely even have arguments.
Okay.
But we have a monthly check-in where we check in about the open thing and we talk about it. We always let each other know. I think we're just really lucky because we're totally identically on the same page.
And also, I think the rules thing, I think what you're saying though is like it's hard to get to, but once you get there,
yes,
like you're there and those are the rules, and it kind of like makes it more simple.
Yes. A lot of people are like, that sounds complicated. Like, how do you not let feelings arise? But I actually think the opposite. I think it's easier to cheat when you guys don't have an established idea of what cheating means. A little flirting, like having a crush. There's so many things in other cultures.
And then it like becomes resent.
Yes.
Yeah. You're burying it away.
But
you're like,
we
I just have
total transparency.
Right.
We can be like, here's everything that happened. And we've had conversations about it. And like recently we had a conversation where I learned something new where she was like, I would be more upset if you lied like about something rather than if you broke the rules and told me. That would be okay, okay than you breaking the rules and not telling me.
This is
and knowing that is great because then I can just be like, hey, I accidentally broke the rules and I'm going to tell you right now.
Let's just get out of here at the monthly check-in.
Yeah.
With my supervisor.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a red flag or deal breaker. You ready?
Yes.
J, J, and A. I love the red flag deal breaker game and unfortunately finally have something to write in about. I, female, was seeing a guy exclusively for 8 months when he broke things off. We started hanging out again soon after, but for about 2 months, it was more friends with benefits until I ended it and told him if we weren't going to be together, I couldn't keep doing that. A couple of weeks later, he came back saying he'd been stupid and wanted to be serious again. That was 2 months ago. Things felt like they were going well. We were making future plans and even talking about engagement rings. Then out of nowhere, he asked if I'd ever kissed kissed one of my female friends. I said yes, once. He told me to get away from him, said he couldn't trust me, and packed his things and left. He refused to hear me out when I tried explaining it had happened when we weren't together and nothing else happened. The next day, he texted that I'm not deserving of his time or energy or even a conversation. For context, the kiss happened while we were broken up, and it was a drunken moment. Additional context, he's not a big fan of this friend. He's more traditional about relationships, while she is more in her casual era. He's previously questioned whether I'd be untrustworthy when I'm out with her, and I've always reassured him that if we're exclusive, there's nothing to worry about. Also, early in our relationship, there were a few times I left out details about my past that later came up, and he said I lied to him. So, is his reaction a red flag or a deal breaker, or am I the red flag? Sincerely, bi-curious, but not that curious, Betch. What do you think?
Thank you for theming this around me.
We do right by our guests. Well, there's sometimes, here's the issue. We stand with a dating podcast where we do want to be inclusive of anyone that wants to listen. You go, I can't speak for this.
Right. You can't speak for this. It's also so different.
Right.
At the same time, I wish I could apply some of the things that I do and recommend in the queer community to the straight community. I think you guys would be so much better off. It really is awful to read some of this. Honestly,
honestly,
what are you guys doing?
After hearing about your life, honestly, after hearing about your life, I want you to advise the straight community too.
Let Jared fuck.
Right.
Let him fuck. Go to the hotel room.
Right.
Don't even worry about it.
Let me go on the road, have an Uber show up with a random hot chick that I vetted through Instagram and let her just blow me and go on her way. Come on, let me have the Ashley Gavin method. The Gavin method.
The Gavin method.
Yeah, I want to have a Gavin time.
You'll have a Gavin time too, by the way.
Right.
We'll both have a Gavin time.
We'll have a Gavin time. We'll all go down on each other.
First of all, can I just say, dear listener, you are bisexual.
Okay.
Just stop trying to make caveats.
Yeah.
You're kissing women.
Is bi-curious a thing?
It is, but it's just like, can you please?
You're right.
You don't have to. There's so much shame in this.
Right.
As I read this, I hear shame.
He didn't help that.
Oh, no, he did not.
No.
I'm not that curious. She's just a friend. Nothing else happened. No, all this stuff. Like, it is okay that you kissed your friend. It is okay for you to be bi-curious. It's okay for you to be bi. Like, whatever. Like, just.
What if I was like, no, it's not okay?
Don't even worry about the labels. This is like a whole other thing besides this man. Like, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about the labels. It's okay that you're kissing your friend. You can do more with your friend. You can kiss other women.
Even the label of friend, like you flirt with this woman that you're attracted to.
Yes, exactly.
Like, and he felt that. Like he even got nervous about her.
Exactly.
Like, what was that meme? The person you were worried about.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's just like, you have a thing with this woman. I think it should be
He
more.
obviously knows this woman is like hot.
Right. And someone you're into.
Yeah.
So like he makes him insecure. That's okay.
Yeah.
It is separate than the email. Because like I look at this email, this could be from anyone. And I'd be like, what he's doing is such a move.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to commit. The minute he found one thing to call you out on. And he saw it as a lever he could pull to get him out of it.
Exactly. It's like there's bad energy from him before the bisexuality issue. Like the, not getting serious and then maybe what do they call it? Love bombing? Maybe. I don't, it's hard to say, like, but you can't like talk about engagement rings and then freak out and then not even worry about when this hookup happened. Like, it's just, I don't know.
And then not have a discussion.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing. When you start talking about the whole order of this, you're dating, then you break up, and then he comes back. I was stupid. Now we're 2 months in and talking about getting engaged, and now one disagreement. He goes, no discussion, no nothing. You go, you're bringing up mature topics to try and ease me into like saying engagement in any ways and looking at rings is like, easy there, chill. And then the moment I do something wrong and you don't want to be in this anymore, you go, oh, you made out with your friend? I'm out.
Yeah. I also that's such a tender, but to ask someone like, oh, have you ever had like a gay experience? Like, That's a really sensitive question. If you're not willing to
Right.
bring like I mean, maybe they think of it differently, but in my mind, if like I'm asking someone that, I'm like, oh, like
You're being very
gentle.
careful.
You want to
Yeah,
be gentle
yeah.
with that person because like they might feel shame, which she obviously does. And even if it's just a little bit, even if it's like casual mainstream shame,
Mm-hmm.
which this appears to be, but like, yeah, I don't like that he didn't bring care to that conversation. you
Right,
know?
so he's a total deal breaker.
Yeah, I hate him.
When you don't give care, well, I'm with you. When you don't, I like that you said the care to the conversation about her bisexuality.
Yeah.
Then you have to, like, he's honestly being selfish and not caring about what this is, the match.
He clearly asked that like in reference to himself, either because he was worried about this other woman or because he has like opinions about that. He didn't ask that like, I want to get to know you, and is this something that's important to you? Like, have you ever like reflected on your sexuality?
Right.
Like, he didn't. It was like, I need to know this about you because I'm going to form an opinion. And
Well,
yeah.
form an opinion and a reason to go.
Yeah.
Like, it gives
Yeah.
me the right to leave.
Yeah,
and
maybe
it's
he
like,
was looking for anything. Maybe,
right.
yeah.
I think so. Like, I mean, like, that happens in a lot of breakups. It's like, okay, I have written a check that I can't cash called engagement. All right, what's the only way out of this engagement that I've kind of like hinted at?
Yeah.
Oh, I can use this societally negative thing of like the societal judgment that goes with like kissing a woman, you
Yeah,
know, in
yeah.
some circles. Now I can use that against you because you already feel this shame, as
Yeah.
you said, kind of like trip you over your own shame, you know?
I would fuck the other girl.
Yeah.
Because it looks like she's willing, just
Right.
based on what you've written
There's
here.
something there.
Sounds like she's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I
I'm
would
with
go
you.
have sex with your friend.
So deal breaker. Let's do
And
another
if you
email.
don't,
We'll bring in Ashley, the
we
closer.
can Gavin method it.
Yeah, we'll Gavin. What city are you in? Ashley will be rolling in,
Yeah.
ready to go. What's the best city for meeting a woman?
I don't know.
You know, they're all good.
Where have I had the most luck? I feel like it's like just like a gay city. Like,
Is there like maybe is like a more like is there more like a repressive city? Is that better? Like sometimes you go to like Salt Lake City and you're like the audiences here are
the
amazing.
audiences in Salt Lake City are unreal.
They're
a bunch
unbelievable.
of heathens.
When does this come out? This comes out March 12th. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City. This wasn't a way to bring up Salt Lake. I'm going to be in Salt Lake. I'm going to be in LA. I'm going to be in Tempe. If you're in those cities, come to my show. But
I've gotten pretty lucky in Phoenix a couple times.
really,
Yeah.
Phoenix feels wild. Phoenix is West Coast Florida, and Phoenix is West Coast Fort Lauderdale.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about
Phoenix
that.
is West Coast Fort Lauderdale. It is the same amount of stupid. It's the same amount of like, we're just partying, man. They're drinking Monsters versus Red Bulls. You know, like this is,
Yeah.
it's like Bizarro Fort Lauderdale. And there is an energy there of like, just like fun stupidity.
You're so right, because I hooked up with sort of a queer anti-vaxxer, and I was like, this is very interesting.
What a combo.
Yeah. Well, she had a backstory.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Something had happened.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe we, that's rough. What happened to you is very rough, but maybe anecdotal experience is not more
I
informative.
hope you discuss this
than-
after the hookup.
Of
You're like,
course.
yeah.
We're
Let's get the job done
We're
first.
still friends. She
really?
and I are still pals, yeah.
Still discuss like
listen, I am-
Robert Kennedy memes and
As a
stuff?
liberal, she's not like that.
Okay.
As a liberal, okay, it is my job to stay in the game with people I think I can swing.
Living,
Whether
learning.
that's sexually or politically.
So that's what you bring to the table.
That's what I am a middle of the road gay.
Okay. And
I
you'll
am-
find a
I
way to
am
get
here-
them swung to the
Now,
side.
me personally, I'm pretty far left with my belief system,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm never gonna like shame someone. I'm always gonna be the person to have the conversation with. If you have thoughts that you don't want to admit to the people around you, you can admit them to me, and we will have a thoughtful, friendly conversation
After you go down on her.
after I finger you into oblivion.
Yes.
When
okay.
your brain is in a malleable state.
After you've gotten indexed by the Gav,
Index.
that's when you're good to go. That's when we'll start talking liberal values and
I'm taking index.
indexed by the Gav.
Indexed by the
It's a great merch item. Indexed. I love that. Let's do icky or picky. Ready? We're going to tell this person whether this is a valid ick or they're being picky. Frequent listener, subscriber here. Thanks for making dating a little bit easier and funnier. I'm writing about something that could be considered an icky or picky or red flag deal breaker. Would love your thoughts on having roommates as we get older. Are you living with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
See, that makes it easier too. You're with
Yep.
each other. You come back, you go,
Yeah.
no indexing. Yes, index.
We're 0 on the index today.
0 on the. I'm a 28-year-old woman dating a 35-year-old man. We met IRL, not on the apps. Have a great connection, have been seeing each other about 3 months. He's 35, has a roommate. None of this bothers me, and it's not a deal breaker. I'm just curious about your take. He moved to our city years ago, found his roommate, a woman slightly older than him, through Facebook. They've lived together for 5 years, get along well. Nothing romantic has ever happened. I've lived alone since 25 and wouldn't usually expect a 35-year-old to have a roommate. I think it ties into his lifestyle. He has a solid career as an independent journalist, but lives more like someone in their 20s, video games, weed at night, going out for drinks, late hours due to remote work. That said, our lifestyles are actually very similar. We even met at a bar we both frequent. My question is, is there a real age cutoff for having roommates, or is it all about context? If two people's lifestyles align and no one's bothered, does it matter? Thanks, a solo living but roommate dating betch. What do you think, Ashley Gavin?
I mean, maybe there's something I don't know, but this wouldn't bother me at all.
Would not bother me at all.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I mean, maybe it's different with men, but I think that would be a bad double standard. Well, it's nice to live with someone. You save money.
Right.
You have a built-in, especially if you guys get along. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see the problem. Like, I just love hanging out. So I could see why you'd want to have a roommate. I lived alone. I don't know. I mean, like, I almost feel like now that I'm older, I understand the value of community a little bit more.
I totally agree with this. This is like one of those, I'm 27 and I date a 35-year-old and how could they have a roommate? Place of life. Like, I think this is different when you're 27 looking at this than when you're 35 or 40. I'm 40. And, I think there's two things that have to happen. There has to be an acknowledgement and a plan.
Yes.
So let's acknowledge what is going on is a little bit different, like, from anyone.
Totally.
Like, if someone said to you, like, there's a lot of like fear of like judging someone's relationship and how they're doing it, and poly versus ethical non-monogamy and all those things. Open relationship is you're in. For me to ask, how does it work, is not really me saying I hate it and no one can do it. I just want to know how it works.
Yes.
If you were to say to me, well, come on, Jared, have an open mind.
Yeah.
I just want, you're living differently than I know people to live.
Yeah.
So in the same way, this guy, like, if I met a woman who's 35 and she lived in this like really fabulous New York City apartment and she was working and doing really well and she's living with this other woman and they're both single, and she came to me and was like, you know what? I'm a single woman living in New York and this is really the last time I can have a fun roommate.
Yeah.
We get along really well. New York is expensive. This makes it very comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I get to save money.
Yeah.
I get to have a great place. I'm in the part of town anyone would kill to be in. I have my own living space. I have my own bathroom. I've worked it out to work with my life. I would actually be jealous of that person.
Yeah, I think it's actually great.
Right.
Now that, I don't know what the relationship is between the roommates, but now that I'm a little older, I'm like, gosh, I kind of wish I could live with my best friends.
Totally.
Like, I tell them, one of my best friends, he's allergic to cats, so he couldn't live with me. But I say all the time, like, I would gladly subsidize his rent to like just be around community. I love community. So I totally get it. And as far as the alternate I don't want to say alternate, but like, he's doing his own thing. He's a freelance journalist.
Right.
Like some people are just like that. I think comedians are really just like that. I don't want the life where you get into that level of routine that's kind of boring. Like, I don't know. Why not try to be young forever?
Listen, and also with the roommate thing, we are living under the lens of our parents' generation.
100. I was going to say
it's really
that.
not fair to us.
It's not fair, especially given the economy. Like this might be a new normal for a lot of people.
Also, the internet and how work works. I moved to Delray Beach, and I have so many people. How's it going? And I'm like, once you free yourself, like I was like. My response a lot of times to comics, I'm like, the two largest touring comedians in the world don't live in New York or LA. Mm-hmm. So you go, okay, once you get around that, you go, okay, could I do that? Yeah. Well, hypothetically, I could. It's not an impossibility. I've seen it happen for other people. And then you go, well, plane travel isn't what it was in the 80s. And like the idea that I'm living this lifestyle that is by the rules of another age. I do think in this day and age, you meet someone with a roommate. If you were to say anyone with a roommate is undateable after the age of 35, I would say that you are living by another time standard.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not, I'm with you. Like, and also as comics, we know we have a lot of value in making the lifestyle work.
Yes. Yeah.
So we go, well, you're saving money and you have a good place and it's in the right part of town and you can do stand-up and you can do the thing you're passionate about and you can be an independent journalist. So I think to this person, like, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to, like, see your life different than the one you grew up in. Yeah. And I think that's, like, the thing that they need to get over, even in a small way.
Yeah, I don't know I can't really tell from her tone here. But I would just say make sure it aligns with whatever you're trying to do.
Right. What's the future? Why do you do this now? What's the future hold for you?
Yeah.
I think those are the two questions. Because why do you do this now? Hey, it makes it so the pressures of my independent journalism, career doesn't really get to me. I know I can handle the cost of living.
Yes.
Even in hard times.
Yes.
And I'd like to live with someone in the future that is my wife or get married. Like, let's make sure that the goals are aligned. But like, this might help them get to those goals even in a more comfortable way.
Yeah, totally. I mean, my girlfriend and I talk about it all the time. We're not engaged, but we are engaged. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're just moving at I don't know. We're just kind of doing our own thing. Like, we don't really worry about it.
When's the wedding? No.
But we talk all the time. Like, we love waking up at 10 or 11, and like, do we want to have kids? It's just like always just be on the same page as him and his life, like,
right.
And make sure it's on the same page as your life.
Right. I think maybe sometimes the assumption with like roommate plays video games, smokes weed, you go, well, they must not want anything else. Well, maybe that's the way they're doing it to get to the same thing you want.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, Ashley, this is fantastic. We're so happy we had you on. Everyone go follow Ashley Gavin on TikTok, on Instagram, on all the social platforms. But most importantly, What's News with You with Josh Johnson and We're Having Gay Sex, two podcasts that are fantastic and wonderful. This is great.
Thank you.
So happy you came on. So funny. Everyone go follow. I'm Jared Freed. We are here every week, Wednesday and Friday. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but also on YouTube where you can watch this. And we do benefits episodes where we are checking in with Jordana and her mother journey. She's got 2 babies. They're so cute. We're going to check in with her. So sign up for You Up with Benefits to get all the updates on Jordana and during her maternity leave. And we'll be back next week. Boom.